Good morning, Tuesday morning, heading now to Tel Aviv, to Sarona Azrieli, the new building in Tel Aviv where Amazon and Facebook are located, to meet with my old friend Ethan Chernofsky at a company called Orbs. I know very little about it, but I know it's in the blockchain space, and I know it's a pretty hot company. Ethan's kind of like a premier marketer in this country. He's been at Headline Media, the top PR company in the country, and at SimilarWeb. So I'm excited to catch up with him. And after that, I'm going to meet Aryeh Altshul, who started my first blog with me. So he's an old friend. He works at a company called Hexa Labs. Also, I know very little about it. So that's going to be cool. And then a couple of other meetings later on. And this evening, or this afternoon, I should say, is the ceremony in which Ari, my brother, receives the badge of courage or heroism or whatever it's called in English. So that's going to be an emotional roller coaster. But all in all, it's going to be a great day. Let's do this. Made it to Orbs. Turns out Hexa Labs is actually part of Orbs. So I have two meetings at Orbs today, and I literally had no idea. Total coincidence and very random. Here we go, Orbs. So as I mentioned, I'm meeting Ethan Chernofsky this morning. I knew he worked at Orbs, but turns out Aryeh Altshul, my second meeting, total coincidence because we booked this months ago, also works at Orbs. So I have two meetings at Orbs today, both of whom did not know of each other, meaning they know each other, they just didn't know that I'm meeting them today, and it coincidentally happened to have fallen out on the same day. Very, very random, but two different people, two different roles in the organization, and I know them from two different worlds, so hopefully two very different interviews. Anyway, now I gotta figure out how to get into labs because this is like a fortress here. Walking into Orbs and I see this familiar face. Who are you?
Gedalia Reback.
So we've been connected for how long online?
Years.
We never met.
Conferences, we came across each other. Yeah.
But you also work at Orbs?
Yeah.
So like basically everyone I know works at Orbs?
Possibly.
What do you do at Orbs?
Content manager.
Beautiful.
Editor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, is Ethan here, you think, this early in the morning?
I just saw him. He was over there.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right, let's go say hello. Once again, I had to twist this guy's arm because what's going on here is incredible and we can't really capture it in a quick interview, but I'm going to do it anyway and forced him to get on camera. So let's just start with a little background. What's your name?
Uriel.
Uriel. How long do we know each other, just first of all?
I think around 7 years maybe.
7 years. So your previous company was Visual Lead, which I might add, yesterday was my first vlog back since Ari was murdered, and I talked about Ari, and there's also that connection, which is that Ari was not a tech guy, but I think the only tech company he ever worked at was actually Visual Lead. Uriel was his boss. Let me just turn this, get you in the frame better. There you go. So there's that interesting connection, but we haven't seen each other in a long time. You sold that company?
Yes. So the company was acquired by Alibaba back in 2017.
That was a company that basically looked at QR codes, which everyone was using in Asia, but they were ugly, and said, why do they have to be ugly? Let's make them look like your logo, and they made them basically pretty.
Exactly. So we started from QR codes, but then we went into augmented reality and deep learning, and it actually became the R&D center for Alibaba in Israel to do with AI and deep learning.
Super cool. Okay. Then just walk me through, like, in 2 seconds, how you transitioned from that into blockchain.
Right. So after we finished with Visually, I was thinking, what's the next thing I want to do? And do I want to do like another startup, another technology, AI? Who gives a whatever? And then, so my young brother told me you should get into blockchain. So I was starting to research about blockchain and Bitcoin. What's this thing that is, everybody's talking about? And I realized that, it's a new technology for cryptography and networking. And on top of it, there's a new layer of economy. You're basically inventing money and creating money and try to do things with it. And then there's also a layer of kind of governance, how you can connect people in an autonomous way. And the most interesting thing was that it was really starting to challenge like fundamental concepts in our world, like banking and governments. Okay. So whether you are an anarchist or just a regular person, it was super like interesting. It combined like technology and money and making like big impact.
Wait, hold on one second. Let me just interrupt you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Before this, your brother and you maybe had like some sort of a fund. Didn't you have a fund?
No. So my brother was the CEO of Payki, which was like a payment company, but Payki originated from a company called Get Gems, which was basically the first kind of ICO or blockchain company in Israel back in 2015.
You guys didn't have some sort of a fund, like a blockchain fund or something?
And he was investing in the space from 2000 and whatever.
Okay, so we spoke, I remember. Okay, fine, got it. So let's, I told you it's going to be a short one. I don't want to make it too long. You have a lot of work to do, but we just had an hour meeting and we all agreed on one thing. The holy grail of blockchain is taking this technology, and again, everyone makes the comparison to the early days of the internet, so we're just going to go with that comparison. The internet back in the early days was a protocol. Okay, it's bits and bytes. It's something that's not accessible to the human being. Comes along people or players like Netscape and Mark Andreessen and says, all right, you want access to this TCP/IP thing? Use a web browser, right? Comes along the next level of infrastructure, things like AWS and cloud infrastructure, and says you want to build businesses on this protocol? Use us. Today, blockchain is parallel as the equivalent of that TCP/IP, of that protocol. It's raw technology. The holy grail is being able to build on that technology things that both people and businesses can leverage and actually use and utilize in their lives. What is Orbs in the most simplistic manner?
So Orbs is basically, we want to make blockchain accessible for these companies to develop on top.
So you might say that you are the web browser of blockchain.
Right. We want to be the web browser or maybe the AWS of blockchain.
So you're taking this raw technology, this thing that hasn't yet, I mean, it's been adopted. Obviously, no one, everyone heard of blockchain. Everyone knows that it's something that's worth paying attention to, but I don't think most people yet, at least let's call it outside of Asia, have understood yet why this is going to impact their lives. You are taking that technology and saying, all right, now we're going to be the vehicle by which you take this thing called blockchain and actually build large businesses on top of it.
Right. So big companies all around the world, they know that blockchain is something and it is something they can't ignore. Orbs want to be, their partner to understand how to use the technology and build new stuff on top.
Okay, so real quick, how many people work in the company?
70.
70 people. And how much money have you raised altogether?
118.
$118
million.
$118 million. So you guys are not playing around, clearly. Yeah. What's the website?
Orbs.com.
Orbs.com. Orbs.com. If somebody wants to, can they, I mean, the website's, it's live and active and they can learn a little bit more. Right. All right, so the bottom line is, if you're a business trying to understand or maybe begin to kind of entertain this thing called blockchain, but you don't really know how to start, worth checking out Orbs.com. I think it's fascinating as a newbie. And I said to you in the beginning, I'm a total newbie. I haven't even been sold on this thing called blockchain yet, but I'm starting to, because people like David Marcus at Facebook are, focused on blockchain. Every tech company out there, many other, not even tech companies, just companies are starting to embrace it. And so clearly this is something worth paying attention to. And if I understand correctly from the last hour, Orbs is going to be a major player / vehicle by which blockchain goes mainstream.
Definitely.
Love it, man. All right, well, thank you for your time. And obviously it goes without saying, anything I can do to help you, we go way back. And, consider me a weapon in your arsenal or tool in your toolbox to help in anything I can, from helping on the messaging side, or whatever I can do to help. You just let me know, and let's not wait another 10 years to meet.
Yeah.
And next time over steak, all right, man? Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
The second guy I'm meeting today is this guy. Who are you?
I'm Aryeh Altshul.
How long do we know each other?
I rented my apartment in Givat Shmuel from you.
It's funny. I didn't even remember that.
Remember that?
That is funny. By the way, it is not even...
Hold on, it was 13 years ago.
It is not an exaggeration to say that a large part of my career I owe to you.
Well, you made it yourself, but I definitely helped you set up blogging at the beginning.
My first blog, techandmarketing.com. We did it together. Yeah. It's wild. And since then, you're for sure one of the top sales dogs in this country. I think that's just an objective fact. Anyway, so it was good to catch up. We shouldn't wait another 10 years, but where are we? What is this place? Tell me about this place a little bit.
We're on the highest floor in Tel Aviv right now. It's called Labs.
Is that true? Highest floor in Tel Aviv?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We're building a bigger building in Ramat Gan now, I think, but it's floor 61, co-working space.
Owned by Teddy Sagi, who's Playtech. That's his claim to fame, I guess.
And it has some incredible views. We'll show you.
Let's check it out. I'm turning the camera around. Made it home early today. Change of attire, heading now to the ceremony in which the state of Israel declares my brother a hero. So that's going to happen in a couple of hours. We have a rehearsal for the ceremony, and I expect a serious emotional roller coaster, because it's an incredible source of pride how he lived and how he died on the one hand. On the other hand, as I said, still not 100% digested in my system. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, but it is an incredible honor and a historic one, because again, not to get too heavy, but my grandparents, who survived the Holocaust, gave up everything to educate their kids in a, Jewish Zionistic manner. Their grandson is now being declared a hero. Anyway, as I was saying before my phone rang, I am heading over now to the rehearsal before the ceremony in which Ari will be declared a, national hero, or, a hero. The state of Israel is declaring him a hero. So it's pretty insane, pretty symbolic, and it's a very emotional time in general. And while that's an incredible source of pride for me and the family, etc., obviously a tragic time. So it's very mixed emotions. As I said before, an emotional roller coaster. But I did ask if I could bring the camera, and I was told that I can. So that's going to be, I don't know. I haven't cried on the vlog before. I don't know. I don't plan on it, but if it happens, you'll forgive me. Made it here to the local police station. Mom, you want to say hello? Oh.
Here to receive the award for Ari's bravery, and we're proud, but we really wish we wouldn't have to be here.
My brothers are very camera shy. Turning this thing off. So other people are getting awards, some of whom are alive, some of whom are dead. But this is like a local police station here. So I guess there's other ceremonies happening. Not exactly sure. The ceremony is starting soon, but I wanted to introduce you to my favorite niece.
Okay,
this is Tamar, Ari's oldest, and Shav, we have to be a little serious right now. Could you try to be a little serious right now?
Try.
Because let me tell you something. Both in the Shiva and in general, I told your mom that your strength, when I say you, I mean your entire family, without it, I would not be able to be breathing right now. Almost quite literally. So I don't know how you do it, but one day you'll teach me. But what's if you had to choose a word? This is a difficult question. If you had to choose a word, what's been a word that describes the last month and a half of your life?
Weird.
It's been weird. How's it been weird? So has it been for you also surreal in that there's two levels? Like one level is like it happened, the other level you don't really believe it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Safta said also.
No, it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. But anyway, listen, Tamar, just keep being the incredible, seriously, now no jokes, incredible person and strength that you have and the incredible person that you are, because a lot of people are depending on it, including myself. Just keep being awesome.
Yeah.
We expect some good news soon.
Laugh through life. That's what I say. Laugh through life.
Laugh through life. All right, that was very much your dad's, I would say, legacy. While he's quoted as saying, "If you don't struggle in life," or what was the expression that he said? If life is
easy, you're not living it right.
If life is easy, you're not living it right. So that was the one side of him. On the other hand, he enjoyed every second of it. So keep at it. Thanks for coming on camera. Yes. I didn't think I was gonna get her on camera. But
אדם צריך שתהיה לו מילה, קצת מקום בעולם, אהבה לא נשכחת, וכל
אזרח ארי יואל פולד, זכרו לברכה. את עיטור המופת האזרחי יקבלו אלמנתו מרים, הוריו הרב יונה ומרי, ילדיו תמר, נעמי, יקיר, נתן, אחיו משה, דני, הלל ואיתן.
זה ארי. הוא ראה שיש פה סכנה. אני חושבת אפילו לא עלה בדעתו להתיישב. הוא רואה סכנה, והוא הולך לעצור אותו, לפני שיפגע במישהו אחר.
במקום שאין איש, השתדל להיות איש, הוא היה איש, הוא היה גבר בכל מקום. הוא נתן לעצמו בלי שום תנאים, כן? להציל אנשים, כי הוא אהב את העם.
זה מגן ישראל.
וזה אומר את הכל, כי זה מה שזרם בדם שלו, מגן ישראל.
עיטור המופת האזרחי. את העיטור תקבל משפחתו, משפחת פולד, מרים, הרב יונה, מרי, תמר, נעמי, יקיר, נתן, משה, דני, הלל ואיתן.
Big honor, big honor. Heading home now. Gonna rest a little. Tomorrow's a big day. Powtoon Day. See you then.